Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time I'm Jesse Anderson, Ruby Carbuncle. All right, we're gonna be playing Crystal Beast Control. So this deck is actually probably more known as Conclave Control. It abuses this rare card called Crystal Conclave, which is a very powerful effect. So anytime a Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon another Crystal Beast monster from your deck. And you can also send this face-up card to the graveyard and then target one Crystal Beast you control and one card on the field. And remember, this Crystal Beast you target, you can also target cards in your back row as well when you use that secondary effect. And it pretty much uses control cards like Crystal Miracle. And Crystal Miracle also destroys a Crystal Beast. So just remember that, because that also works with Conclave's effect. So you can pop one of your own cards, special summon another card, and then use Conclave afterwards. We're running evenly matches and droplets for going second. They're also... This deck is also good going first, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Droplet is amazing with all the cards that you can set up in the back row. And remember, Sapphire can keep picking up cards in the graveyard too. But more importantly on that, like, you can kind of just, if you're kind of like struggling, you can drop your board and then just evenly match and then wipe out everything your opponent has. So we're also playing Necro Valley. So you might be asking, why are you playing one of Necro Valley? Well, we're playing Foolish Burial Goods. This card is single-handedly supposed to send this card to the graveyard. And when this card is activated from the graveyard, you can add one Crystal Beast monster and one field spell. And the field spell, it does not actually tell you what type of field spell you can add. So it could be any field spell. So you can add yourself a Sapphire Pegasus and a Necro Valley. And Necro Valley is going to be very, very good countering Runic. Or even just any graveyard deck. You guys are having problems with the Shizu? Well, yeah, Necro Valley seems pretty good against them. That all being said, the whole point of this deck is to pretty much lock your opponent from playing the game. With a lot of fair things, I would say. A lot of these cards are fair. The only card that is not fair, which I know you guys are going to cry about, is there can only be one. But I think it's a necessity in the deck, because the deck pretty much it uses it perfectly. Like, we don't run that many different cards. Like, we have Fairy, Wing Beast, Beast, Dragon. Like, everything's kind of different. Now, look at the extra deck. The extra deck can be fixed a little bit. But remember, we're going to be pitching a lot of cards from Pot of E or Pot of P. So they're not exactly, like, something that you can rely on comfortably. But if we do go into something, a lot of times we do go into Baguska, and then Baguska might end up turning into a Zeus. But that's usually what we're going to be doing. Most likely, more than not, we want to lock our opponent out of playing the game. It's typically what we want to do. And this is another crazy card in the deck. I'd probably say this is probably one of the best cards in the deck. It's actually really crazy. And you guys are going to see why it's so good. So this card allows you to get an extra normal summon, and it also allows you to pop a Crystal Beast card you control or in your hand. And if you do that, you can add a Crystal Spell or Trap card from your deck. So you can look up any of these cards and add it to your hand. The only thing that's annoying is our only search for Ancient City is through our Rainbow Bridge Salvation. I was thinking maybe we just add Terraforming, and that could be fine, but I don't know. And this card's really good, though. This card's really good, because once you start getting at least, like, once you get to the point of having at least 3 Crystal Beast cards in the back row, you just start getting, like, permanent, like, spell and trap negates. And this card is not once per turn, by the way. You can just keep activating it, as long as you have monsters to send. But they actually have to be monsters on the field to actually for this to work. I know this was kind of long-winded, but I just wanted to explain everything in the deck before we start getting into some games. And we're going to get into some games right now, so let's get to it. Hello, everybody. We're here with game number 1. We're playing against Pawn. And I'm playing Crystal Beasts. He's playing Runic. Honestly, he's playing like an absolute monkey. And I apologize if some people are playing really stupid. I'm going to tell you right now, this is ranked and this is in plat, so I haven't had time to grind up the account to diamond. But this is plat. It's not like it's like it's bronze or something or silver. So immediately I get I deal with there can only be one in rivalry. So this guy's again, he's activating these way too soon. Honestly, there could only be one. I would honestly just leave this on the field because this, like I said, this card does not affect us whatsoever. So pretty much what we're going to be looking forward to doing is we're going to be playing Crystal Beast Sapphire, and we're going to activate its effect, and that's going to trigger Rainbow Bridge. You'll see what that does. So since we set Ruby Carbuncle, Rainbow Bridge is going to bounce. And also, by the way, playing this Carbuncle is not the right play. We probably should have just played the Dragon. We should have set the Dragon here, because then we could use Awakening of the Crystal Beast, and we could have special summoned Carbuncle, and then Carbuncle would have special summoned Crystal Beast Dragon, and we could have actually had a pretty fast clock here. That's a misplay on my part. I was more focused on doing like the control stuff, so I wasn't really thinking too much about that. This is another like now what we're doing here with the Awakening of Dragon, I actually think this is another misplay. And this is what I'm going to explain why I think these are misplays. Because think about what our opponent's going to do. They have that trap, kind of annoying, but we can deal with it with our bounces, right? But now we have we could have used this. We could have summoned Crystal Beast Sapphire, because this is not once per turn. We could have used it to set Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon in the back here instead. It's kind of hard, because I think summoning it was okay. But we also have Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon in hand. So I think we should have used, when we used Crystal Bond, I think we should have just grabbed Crystal Beast Sapphire. This was bad grabbing this. But I also think on this search, we could have summoned Pegasus instead, and have Pegasus search Rainbow Dragon to put in the back row. So when we use this effect, because we're most likely going to be using it, we could actually use the effect to we could actually use the effect, the secondary effect, to extend the board next turn. So let's just see what our opponent does. We kill his card, gets returned to the deck. Okay. Because remember, we're kind of on a grind game right now. It's not the worst, though. I'm going to tell you that. The reason why I don't think it's the worst is because this card, this card sends him to the graveyard, and having the Crystal Beast Sapphires are actually probably better for just recycling these cards in the graveyard. So having them left in the deck is probably... I should have at least grabbed this Pegasus in my hand, though. See, now he concedes. But if he actually didn't concede and just play this out, I really didn't have any plays. But he probably thought I did. So I actually really do think that we should have grabbed Pegasus. And I think we could have had a much better time. But like, we would have been able to stomp him if we grabbed Pegasus there instead of that. I don't think the Dragon Summon was bad, but I think we should have grabbed Pegasus. The Dragon Summon was probably fine. Alrighty, we're here with game number 2. And again, this is in plat. All these games are going to be in plat. So you're going to see probably some of the dumbest things you've ever seen in your life, which I find hilarious. We actually had no plays in hand because we have 3 Maxis in hand. So I'm just going to start using Maxis and see what he has. Our opponent doesn't have an answer to it. So, okay. He ends his turn either... Okay, that's... Our hand just went from being okay, whatever, to really, really good. Just having one Pegasus in hand. Pegasus, like, fixes everything that you have. Because it makes all your cards good. Okay, we got double Evenly Match. Evenly Match is going to hurt him bad. So, this is a problem, though. Like, I passed, and if he just builds a big board and attacks me, like, he grabs a Dramaturge, so I'm already, like, kind of afraid. If he just builds a big board and attacks me, I just lose the game. But he just goes into battle with this, and he just passes. I activate Evenly Match. His board's gone. Okay. Whatever. Again, battle phase. Gonna activate Evenly Match. He activates Maxi here. Maxi, this deck is amazing against Maxi because it actually doesn't... Ruby Carbuncle is the only card that really special summons. Same with the Conclave. These are the only cards that special summon, so it's really actually does pretty well against it. So this shit is hilarious. So this card pretty much activates off of the Crystal Bond, so we bounce the Mirror Jade. He actually has to activate for Albion, because if he doesn't, he's fucked. And this is probably the biggest fuck up I've ever seen in my life, because now he activate Mirror Jade, right? There's no monsters on my side of the field, and then he banishes his Mirror Jade to summon Snow. So what's going to end up happening is he summons Snow, and then Snow gets banished by Mirror Jade's effect. Was it worth it? So now we get our 2 normal summons. We get those 3 cards in the back row. We set up Ancient Rainbow, and we got Conclave. He lost the game. There's like literally like -% chance he wins this game. Even if he didn't do that mistake. Even if he didn't do that, he's fucked. Because look, I have a free negate. Send Sapphire Beast to the graveyard. Free negate. And remember, I have another spell negate. This I can activate this as many times as I want per turn. We activate Conclave. I'm going to activate this just to free up room. Bam. Bam. And then we're going to pop. This card activates. I could have just done this to do more damage. So this was kind of a misplay on my part. Could have just popped this to do more damage. Deactivates Branded Fusion again. We negate again. Remember, we have another negate too. These are all free negates. Boom. And he just concedes. I don't think we would have negated again. It depends on what he does. Because then we would have no monsters and we're kind of cluttered on our back row. So we probably wait to see what he does and then maybe use Conclave's effect to bounce back our Pegasus. But you kind of see how the deck plays, right? We want to control people with our negates from our field spell and all the other controlled cards that we have, because we do actually have a decent amount of control with the deck. Hello everybody, we're here with game number 3 and we're playing against Zero. I feel like I play against this guy quite a bit, really, like randomly, like on the ladder, but I don't know, maybe just a lot of people have the name Zero. By the way, the toy vending thing is like the weirdest play I've seen, but he does run a lot of Fluffle cards in the deck, but he's running a 60 card deck. Like, how consistent is that? I don't know. I thought that was fucking bizarre. Alright, so he does all his combo. We got double evenly, Conclave, Miracle. We need a Sapphire Dragon for our field to do anything. For our hand to be even remotely useful, we need like something. Ruby Carbuncle we take. So he activates this in response to me going to battle phase. Because you already know your boy is just gonna evenly match the board. So he adds Aliber. I activate evenly match. Okay. He's actually doing what you're supposed to do. So if you guys are wondering, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Because like he was gonna lose that card anyway, you might as well banish it and get a free Brain Diffusion. So I summon Ruby Carbuncle. Ruby Carbuncle! And I activate Conclave. If you guys are wondering what me doing the Ruby Carbuncle's from, that is Jesse Anderson's voice, the guy who plays this in the anime. His voice for the English dub is like a Texas, like a southern accent. Which is funny. It's hilarious. So we activate Conclave and then we activate that Miracle. We negate the fusion. And then Conclave is going to activate its effect to summon Crystal Beast Sapphire. Sapphire's effect activates. We add the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. Then Aliber comes out and we are going to play Droplet to negate Aliber. Bam. Beautiful. And then he goes into Verte Anticonda. Very powerful card. We are going to bounce my Pegasus back to hand, and we are going to try and win this game. Sapphire we play, and he just concedes. Honestly, pretty bad draw, me drawing the eagle, but pretty good for us overall. Hello, we're back at it again with game number 4, and our hand is pretty decent. Rainbow Bridge, we have at least Crystal Beast, Rainbow Dragon in hand, but our opponent has Ash, so that means we don't get to play the game. The only regret I have this turn is I did not set Droplet. So with Maxi, if Maxi goes through, which has a decent chance of going through, because he is playing a 60 card deck, and he played Ash Blossom already, so like pretty decent chance he's not gonna have at least something else, like an okay chance. He's gonna play Drytron. I am going to play Maxi, and he has no answer, so he either has to gonna try and win this turn or kill me, and he decides to let me start drawing some cards, which is really nice. Okay. He summons his 3rd card, which lets me draw. So yeah, so I'm assuming he's gonna try to OTK me. But usually when people are gonna try and OTK me, I'd rather at least see what they're gonna do. I want to see it before I believe it. You know? So he's going to go into the Mu Beta Fairfan, Fafnir. Honestly, I don't mind Drytron that much if they're not playing Herald. Herald is just what makes it really annoying. I mean, this card's pretty AIDS too, though. So he goes into this. This makes it so I have to skip my main phase 1, by the way. Which is real fun, isn't it? See, if I had Droplet, I don't even know if Droplet, I don't even think it stops the effect. He doesn't kill me, though. Then he goes to IP Masquerena. And then Linkaribo. Honestly, kind of silly on his part. I feel like we could definitely break his board pretty easily. I'm going to go for Pot of P. I don't want a Pot of E because I don't feel the need to do that. I just wanted to search for a specific card, which was Necro Valley. So Necro Valley shuts down Drytron completely. So if I'm able to beat his board currently, so if I beat this board currently and drop Necro Valley, he loses the game if he doesn't have an out. Okay? So I play Sapphire. He's going to Imperm. Silly Billy, I got 600 cards. That ain't going to work. I get rid of that so I can counter IP Masquerena. Now, this is going to activate Rainbow Bridge. I'm pausing this because I'm pretty sure this guy's going to concede. And he just concedes. I was about to bounce back his cards. I was going to start bouncing back his cards and then play Necro Valley, and then he just rage quits. It is what it is, but we had a very good standing there. I know I might have not looked like it, but I had another normal summon, so I could normal summon another thing. I could have got Necro Valley up and then set up my negates and stuff. So and Conclave, like it was going to be very, very difficult for this guy to actually win the game. Because like I said, he would not be able to recycle his ritual cards or anything like that. He would have a pretty tough time, in my opinion. All right, guys, we're here with the 5th and final match, and we're playing against Trance Anthem. And right now, with Pot of P, we are searching for a specific card, and we do hit 2 of them. So the reason why Crystal Bond normally is good to add, but I felt like he had Ash Blossom for some reason. So because it was triggering off of it, but I don't think it was. It must have been like Maxi or something. I was just nervous he had the card. So, it is what it is. I set my 3 cards. This is fine. He's playing Numeron. Plays Numeron Wall. Goes past the Crystal Miracle. But, I have There Can Only Be One. This card counters Numeron completely. He can't actually do anything. I'm going to be able to special summon our Rainbow Dragon off of him attacking Cobalt. So, boom. Kills it. Now, the great thing here is like I said, I have Crystal Miracle. So, he draws Harpy's Feather Duster. Crazy top deck. But we're able to actually stop it. Pop. Goodbye. And now he's going to be in deep trouble. Because Neuron Network does nothing against us now. So we're just going to start beating his face in. I wanted to include this because I hate playing against Neuron decks and stuff like this. And it feels good them losing to Jesse Anderson, you know? Oh, by the way, I always thought this was Shrinky. I didn't know they summoned all four still. It's kind of funny. Alrighty. Nice, dude. So we're going to activate Foolish Burial Goods, this and that. We grab our Sapphire Pegasus and our Rainbow Ruins. Now he is absolutely fucked. Because now we have 3 on the field. We can start negating spells. And this, you guys don't think that was relevant, right? You guys don't think this was relevant. But this guy activates Soul Crossing. So if this motherfucker had Wind Dragon of Ra in his hand, and he runs 2 in the deck, he runs 2 and he runs Sphere Mode, I would have lost. I don't know about lost, but I would have had this game would have been drastically different. And then he just suicides, which he should have, because screw this. But that actually was relevant, that last thing there. So it's kind of funny. Let's get to the recap. Hello, my little goblins. Thank you for watching this far. This is the recap. We're going to be going over how the deck performed and what I think about the deck. So before that, I would like you to subscribe. Come on, just do it. That'd be pretty neat, you know? You'd be like, wow, I'm a goblino. That would be cool, though. Also, join our Discord. Our Discord's located down below, and if you do that, I'll be forever happy. We also post that we do tournaments. We're trying to do at least a tournament every week. This Friday, we're going to be having a pretty cool tournament. It's going to be a low rarity tournament where you can use 5 ultra rares and 7 super rares and only 10 extra deck cards. And we have a huge ban list. So a lot of really OP decks will be pretty much banned out or at least very weakened. So come by and join the tournament. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, that'll be cool. How'd the deck perform? Right? That's what you guys want to know. The deck performed pretty good. But I'm not going to say it performed stellar because some of my opponents were kind of doo-doo heads. It's really hard to think of what to remove out of the deck, what to fix. But I can tell you this right now. Every time I played Crystal Bond, I felt really good. Like, this card felt really good. I feel like this card needs to go to 3. But at the same time, you'd have to make some cuts somewhere. Because I feel like 42 is already, like, we're already kind of pushing it with the deck. But yeah, this card did feel very good. And it also felt like I had a higher chance of just hitting something decent. Rainbow Bridge, amazing card. I'll be completely honest. My win percentage with this deck, like, I had a pretty good win spree on stream, but I only played 4 games. I think 4 or 3 games on stream, and we won every single one of them. So the deck actually had a pretty good showcase. But when I played offline, I don't know if I was just getting really unlucky, but I just kept drawing, like, all my field spells, like, half these games. So we ended up not doing, like, crazy, like, we ended up having, like, a 50-60% win rate, which is fine. I could have just had, like, a bad night, you know what I mean? Maybe I made some misplays. I know, like, one game at least I misplayed pretty bad. But overall, I think the deck is fine. I think you could hit Diamond with the deck. I 100% believe you could hit Diamond with it. But can you hit Diamond 1? I'm going to say it's going to be pretty tough. Because I do think the Runic Mirror, like when you put, not Mirror, but when you play against Runic Sprite and stuff like that, I feel like that's going to be a very hard deck to beat. Now, I'm going to say this. If you open up Necro Valley with There Could Only Be One, you're probably winning that game. But again, that's kind of the luck of the draw there, right? So, that's like saying, well, if I play against XYZ and I play Maxi and they don't counter it, I win the game. It's like, well, you have to, like, what's the chances of that happening? Not playing a ton of hand traps, only playing like Maxi, is fine. I actually didn't really mind it. It didn't really hurt me that much, I feel like. Typically because we do want to go first to set up our stuff. But yeah, it was fine. I don't know. I think the extra deck is the only thing that probably could use some help. But at the same time, like, you're getting rid of most of your extra deck to this shit. Like, the only cards you really go into at all, anyway, is Baguska. Honestly, I don't even feel like you really go into that much at all. So, like, these Ultra Rares, I wouldn't even worry that much about them. Like, if you don't have these Ultra Rares, you don't have to build them or anything. The cards I think you should build at least are, like, the Baguska, Chidori, Nightmare Phoenix. Yeah, I think that's fine. And probably Zeus. I mean, everything else is negligible. Other than that, I think the deck was, the deck's solid, though. Like, if you want to play Jesse Anderson's deck, right, and play with the Crystal Beast cards, I think this is a good alternative that's actually good. Because don't get me wrong, you could be like, you know what, Fatzoid, I don't like this control variant. I want to play real Crystal Beasts, and you can play in silver and probably have fun. But if you want to play against half decent people, you're probably gonna have to do something like this, where you're playing a deck that stops your opponent from playing the game, because if they go full power, your full power is not even coming close to it. So I just want to point out, because getting these cards are cool, like these new cards, but like they're like so hard to summon. Like, and I know you could say, well, if you run a Grass is Greener deck with the Ishizu cards, you can actually get them all in the graveyard really quickly. But guys, like, those are all what ifs. How consistently can you do that? You know? Like, I don't know. And even then, you still have to summon an ultimate Crystal Beast monster, you know? Which is, like, already kind of hard to do. I don't know. And plus, like, remember, you have to put a bunch of shit cards in your deck. Like, we have, like, arguably the better Crystal Beast cards in our deck. Like imagine, like, this deck, but I threw in this shitty cat, right? And I threw in Arnold Schwarzenegger, the fucking Crystal Beast Mammoth. Card sucks ass. Like these cards just blow. Like, you gonna add a turtle into your deck? Sky, what is this, like 2001 Yu-Gi-Oh, where I just set a 2000 defense monster? It's yikes. Honestly, just having these cards in the deck feel horrible. But at least Carbuncle you can do some sick combos with that. Because, like, if you have double like, think about this. You have double Sapphire. You double normal summon Sapphire. You put 2 Crystal Rainbow Dragons in the zone. And then you activate Awakening of the Crystal. And then you special summon Carbuncle. And then you activate Carbuncle's effect to special summon both of these onto the field. That's kind of sick, right? Tell me that ain't badass. So you can actually, this deck can, like, do a lot of damage out of nowhere. But again, the whole purpose of the deck is to control your opponent. I think this is a deck also, if you play more, you'll get a lot better at it. And you'll start seeing a lot more different lines of play. And you can start playing around with the deck. Like, maybe you don't want to be playing evenly matched. Maybe you don't want to play droplet. Maybe you can start changing out cards and you'll be understanding how the deck plays. But just remember, it is a control deck at the end of the day. Now, 1 to 10. What do I rate it? I'm going to say it's a 7.5. It's decent. It's not horrible. But it's definitely not meta. On a meta scaling, tier list, 1, 2, 3, Rogue. I'm going to say it's a Rogue deck. I'm not even going to say it's a meme deck, because I don't think it's a meme deck. I think it's better than a meme deck, but it's probably a Rogue deck. So yeah, that's what I'll give it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. The new Gaia cards came out. That's pretty cool. Look at that, Gaia cards. Ooh, maybe we play that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Alright, goodbye.